now that we are officially talking about all of the details of this massive $3.5 trillion stimulus package going forward. Not only that, I'm back every day to keep you updated with all of this information as your daily advocate, doing whatever we possibly can to get further stimulus checks as well as permanent raises for beneficiaries of Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA, RRB. Now, this is the budget resolution. So in other words, this is like the general, like really basic framework. Let me put it into a simple analogy. You're looking in your neighborhood, right? You've been out on a drive, you've been walking somewhere, and you see contractors or you see carpenters building a house, right? They're out there and they're framing the house. You see the house, and all it is just a bunch of framed walls, 2x4 studs everywhere. That's essentially what you're seeing right now with this budget resolution. It is simply just like a framed house with 2x4 stud walls everywhere. There's no drywall hung, there's no floors in, there's no siding on, nothing like that. It's just a very simple, outline of this whole bill and everything going on right now. However, once they get this budget resolution passed, which is likely coming very soon here within the next couple of days, once they get this passed, then that opens up the floodgates that allows them to start adding and refining and doing whatever else they want with all of this, the provisions for in this package. So that's why I'm saying you've got to make sure you're subscribed because, man, it is going to get really, really busy here as we see all of these people throughout Congress coming forward with their own proposals, their own provisions, and all of this information that they have and they want to add into the package to add it right in there. Here's what we do know. So going back to our analogy of all the the framed walls in the house, here's what we do know. What is making up the structure of the house right now, or this, budget resolution, would be there would be paid family and medical leave. We know that. We've talked about that before. They've also added in extension of the child tax credit. Now, these are the monthly checks that people are getting that like roughly 40 million households are getting right now for kids who are under the age 17 and younger, right? So we know about those. Those are already going out. They want to extend it through 2025. By the way, that is a program that costs $100 billion every year. Just a side note. I just came across that number and I thought that's pretty interesting. So anyway, that is in there as well. There's also expansion of Pell Grants. There's also free college in there. There's money in there for climate. Climate's a really big topic there for a lot of Democrats. And there's also, a few other little things in there. They also want to add in there expansion of Medicare to include hearing, dental, and vision, as well as lower the eligibility age to 60 from 65. So a lot of that's in there. But even with all of that being said, they still have plenty of money in this package to be spent. So they're going to have a fun old time figuring out how they want to spend $3.5 trillion. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think it'd be kind of a fun time to, plan how you want to spend $3.5 trillion, which is exactly what they're going to be doing over the coming days and weeks. Now, where we stand as of right now, Chuck Schumer has made it very clear. Oh, by the way, Chuck Schumer was out in a statement this morning as they released this big old framework for this budget resolution. He was out and said that this is going to give tens of millions of families a leg up. In other words, this whole plan is going to help out tens of millions of families. They also call it the anti-poverty plan. I've been saying that for about a month now when they first came out and started talking about this anti-poverty plan. Well, that is kind of like the framework and kind of like the whole idea behind this big plan is they're calling it anti-poverty, which, realistically, it's kind of what it is, right? There's a lot of different provisions within this thing. But Chuck Schumer has said that he's going to come out and start working on this thing and introduce it, the budget resolution, immediately after this first portion of the two packages, the infrastructure package, on Tuesday of this week. So like tomorrow. Yeah, that's when they plan on voting the final vote on the first portion of the package, the infrastructure bill. So once that is done, Chuck Schumer said he's going to follow it up immediately with bringing the budget resolution in for votes and considerations. So, are we talking like immediately, like within the hour, or like immediately? What are we talking? But he said immediately. So I guess in my idea of immediately, I would mean like we vote on the first one, we're done, and okay, here you go. Here it is right now. So I don't know. Well, maybe that's his idea of immediately, but either way, I'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, wow, here it is. Did anybody think that this would come this fast? I was not anticipating the release of this today. I just all of a sudden, it just came across my devices and I was like, whoa, there it is. So there's all kinds of stuff out there. I actually read through it a little bit. There's a lot of numbers and there is a lot of words in that bill. It's actually like 64 pages or something like that. This whole layout of everything. And there's a lot of money that they're laying out in this thing. So there's a lot going on with this thing. This is also where we are anticipating them to reform the SSI program, Supplemental Security Income, raise those benefits up to 100% of the federal poverty line, which is what we've talked about in previous videos, another really cool provision, as well as all those people who are in support of a fourth stimulus check. Remember, we've been talking about this as well. Yes, there is still a very much widespread support for a fourth stimulus check. Now, one quick side note. Just a minute ago, I told you that the child tax credit payments, these monthly payments going out to nearly 40 million families on a monthly basis, cost $100 billion every year. Well, if we just so happen to add a fourth stimulus check into the package and we focused it on the lowest income individuals out there, we'd only be talking about pretty much the same. Well, according to my calculations, it'd be about $200 billion. But here's the thing. Okay, so the child tax credit costs $100 billion for the next 4 years, right? Or 20, the next 4 years or so that they want to do this. Okay, so that's $400 billion. One survival check, one stimulus check, one relief check, one more check focused on the lowest income individuals would only cost about $200 billion at most, according to my calculations. In fact, it should be far less than that. So realistically, it would be to their best interest to issue a fourth stimulus check focused on the lowest income individuals and add it into the package. It really wouldn't cost that much at the end of the day. Not only that, we have the midterm next year, and Chuck Schumer just so happens to be up for next year. So how could he solidify his position as a senator once again? Well, I mean, I don't know, maybe issuing a stimulus check so that people would remember him when they go and vote. I mean, that would be one really good way to do it. I mean, I don't know. If somebody walks by and hands me a wad of cash, you can probably better believe I'm probably going to remember that person at some point in the future, especially as I see their name on a ballot at some point in the future, right? Yeah, just saying, right? So anyway, I wanted to bring this to you. Very interesting, cool stuff. I mean, it is moving. It is like it's a train running down the tracks, and it's going to get very, very interesting here going forward. So this budget resolution is on the table. If you want to check it out, it's actually all over online right now if you actually want to read through it. I would advise you don't sit in a very comfortable chair as you read it, because you're going to be asleep in no time at all. It's a lot of numbers and a lot of words that are not very exciting. So either way, but this is good stuff. We have the details. We have the details on this, and it is likely that they will start voting on this thing right away on Tuesday afternoon, or sometime on Tuesday whenever they pass this first portion of the package. Nice, right? All right, so this is what we've been waiting for, everyone. I mean, it's been 2 months in the making. We were supposed to get this done 2 months ago, and here we are just finally getting this thing to the floor right now. So, wow, 2 months late, but you know what? I guess the saying goes, late is better than never, right? So either way, good stuff. It's going to be very interesting going forward here to see what they actually add into this thing. But yeah, it's here it is. Wow, didn't realize it. So anyway, I'll keep you updated as we get more information. I wanted to give you another quick update with all this information that we have as of now.